Am I the a-hole for punishing my daughter for not coming to my wedding? I got married last weekend in my parents' house, which has been in the family for generations. For health reasons, only immediate family was there. My daughter, 16 female, had been calling her new stepmom, 21 female, names like homewrecker and prostitute, and I have been patient with her. She assumes I left her late mother because she had breast cancer. However, I did not leave her mother for having cancer. Nobody decides to have cancer. However, her late mother kept using her illness to devalue me and my sense of identity. She'd criticize the way I was taking care of her, and even stuff like my hygiene or the cologne I was wearing. She made me feel worthless, and I felt like she was projecting her own insecurities by saying the smell of my cologne was disgusting because she never made an effort to keep herself up, and despite the fact that I objectively found her disgusting sometimes, I stuck by her until my self-esteem was destroyed. I would work hard closing deals all day and be acknowledged for my efforts at work, yet I'd go home and she'd criticize and nag about every ounce of my being. I met her stepmom when I was in a dark place. She made me feel like I could be myself again. My wife made me feel unattractive and sexless, and with my new wife, I felt alive. Just the fact that she appreciated me and felt physical chemistry with me made me want to do anything for her, to want to provide for her. That's when I decided not to bullshit my wife anymore and file for divorce. Since then, my daughter's relatives from her mom's side had been poisoning her against me. Last weekend, when I and her stepmom went to the site of the wedding early, we expected to see her drive to the wedding later, but instead she ended up going to stay with her aunt. Everybody asked where she was, and there was chaos from my side of the family locating her. As punishment, I took her car and allowance away and have taken her phone away until I feel that she can learn to be respectful towards someone I very much love, and that it will be impossible for her to do that if she keeps having to hear from her late mom's side of the family. My parents have called and said that I was being too harsh. However, even when things are tough, I feel I cannot let a child of mine believe they can just do whatever they want. Am I the a-hole? You're the a-hole. You cheated on her mother. Regardless of the situation, that's all she sees. She doesn't know your marriage problems. All the knows is that you left her mother for another woman. On top of that, you're marrying said woman when your 16-year-old daughter is still trying to deal with her mother's passing. Of course she didn't want to go. You're the a-hole for not trying to be more understanding of your daughter, for trying to force her, and then for punishing her. Edit. Also, hold the effing phone. Somehow I completely missed that your new wife is 21. That makes it worse. She's only 5 years older than your daughter. They're close in age, and you're still confused about her behavior? Holy cow. I can't even. Oh wow, poor guy, working like everyone else without the appreciation of his jerky cancer-stricken wife. Your hygiene directly impacts the health of someone with a compromised immune system, but who cares about a compromised immune system when you closed deals all day? It must really suck for you that the chemicals killing the cancer in her body changed her sense of smell and ability to tolerate your cologne. That must have been, like, super hard for you. You're the a-hole. Give your daughter back her stuff and go get some counseling. You're the a-hole, big time. First of all, leaving your wife while she was battling cancer is a pretty shitty thing to do. It sounds like you were just as bad to her as she may have been to you, saying things like I objectively found her disgusting sometimes. It also sounds like you have no empathy for what she may have been going through. You also left her after you met this new interest, which implies that you cheated on her. That is never justified, even if she was treating you badly. Now you are trying to force your daughter to just be okay with everything and accept this new person. Even if you were right in everything up until this point, that is still wrong to expect her to adjust so quickly. By punishing her, you are just going to further drive a wedge between her relationship with you and her stepmom. If you don't change course soon, I wouldn't be surprised if she wanted nothing to do with you once she's old enough to move out. I'm not even going through chemo, and my sense of smell is quite sensitive. I'm not a fan of strong cologne, and I'd probably complain too. It also bothered me that Op mentioned that his ex-wife let herself go while she was going through chemo. I don't know about your marriage vows, but mine had something about in sickness and in health. I don't remember the line about until I don't think you're hot anymore, or until you stop making me feel sexy. You're the a-hole. Your daughter shouldn't have called your new wife names, but it is unreasonable to punish her for not attending your wedding just months after the loss of her recently deceased mother. Isolating her by taking away her phone during a pandemic will only exacerbate the problem. Priceless that he wanted this 16-year-old not to bail on an emotionally difficult situation, yet this fully grown man bailed on helping her mom or her through her mom's dying, so he could cheat with and marry this new woman because it was emotionally difficult for him. I mean, he was in a dark place, so wait, she is too SMH. Her world fell apart. Her mom died. Her father's a cheater who was divorcing her mom while she was dying. She probably questions your character when she might have never thought to. Now has to welcome a stepmom into her family while grieving. Now has a father with split attention when she should have had one concentrating on helping her get through her grief, and is being cut off from the safe places for her to fall. But you know, let's make this about you. I hope this is a shit post, because the levels of narcissism in one post should be criminal. By the way, a lot of people receiving cancer treatments have issues with smell and other sensory issues. That's not personal. You're the a-hole because you kept wearing it despite knowing it was a problem. I mean, you absolutely kept wearing it if she said something enough for it to wear on you. You're the a-hole because you want us to agree that you have a right to your feelings, but won't even extend that courtesy to your daughter because it's a shadow on your brand new life with your new wife. You obviously have no thought for her feelings and are not the appropriate person to offer her the emotional support and outlet she needs, yet you'll cut her off from people who can provide that because you think they'll poison her against you. Newsflash, you probably torched your relationship with your child already, so no reason to worry about the in-laws. You're the a-hole for so many reasons. 1. You don't think your daughter might feel a type of way about you getting married while processing the death of her mother? 2. You didn't give us your age, but I'd be a little squicked out if my dad married someone 5 years older than me. I'm not judging you, but you should be sympathetic to your grieving teenage daughter's path. 3. You filed for divorce from your wife, who was dying of cancer. Jesus, dude, that's a double trauma on your kid. 4. Social distancing FFS. Man. 5. The dismissive way you write about your late wife and daughter is just you. 6. The timeline makes it seem, Lilt, you had an affair with this new girl while your late ex was dying from cancer. WTF. Dude. You're the a-hole. You married someone not much older than her only a few months after her mother died, after cheating on her dying mother with this woman for God knows how long. You rushed to get married with no consideration for her feelings. You are a father. You don't get to only think about yourself when making decisions that affect your daughter. Not only was it completely thoughtless, it all but ensured a bad relationship between your daughter and your wife. And now you've decided to punish her in an attempt to force her to get along with your wife. You are only confirming her feelings that your new wife is your priority and that you care more for her happiness and your own than your daughter's. And on top of it, you want to alienate her from half of her family? You are making the absolute worst choice at every single turn. You need to find an alternative approach here, because disregarding her feelings and forcing her to have them on a schedule that is convenient for you is not going to work. If you keep going on this path, your daughter will never have a relationship with your wife, and she won't have one with you for much longer either. No good father is this selfish. You're the a-hole. You broke up your daughter's family to get together with another woman while her mother had cancer. Let me break this down for you. Your daughter's life was in turmoil because her mother had cancer. She probably feared for her mother's life and felt completely destabilized. You then took the one thing she relied on, her family unit, and broke it apart to be with another woman. Instead of allowing her time to adjust and discuss with her why she feels hurt, you completely ignore her feelings. Marry a woman she thinks is to blame for her life crumbling around her, and then punish her for feeling upset about it. You divorced her mother, who had cancer, for doing this to you, but you punish your daughter for trying to take the same steps to protect herself that you did. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. See you all later.